out sometimes. A kid who was a good friend of mine, he's one of our bright, outstanding young pilots. He was a lead pilot, and I'd flown with him on a few missions. And we were on a practice mission. We were flying around East Anglia, and we were at around 25,000 feet. But something occurred in the upper turret. They stowed signal flares all around the rim, and they'd take the berry pistol, and there was a place that it would fire out. They could give different signals, different colored flares to the formation. Something happened that set off those flares in the cockpit while they were on this practice mission. So there was virtually nothing to do but the aircraft, the crewmen bail out. The commander gave the instructions to the crew to abandon the aircraft, and then he was the last one to leave. The great tragedy, the bad enough tragedy to have this fire in the cockpit, murdering people. But what happened in the excitement, the pilot and co-pilot usually wore a parachute harness that was, well, it was like it was not a parachute that was on them, it was a harness, and they fastened the parachute to the harness. As they left the plane, he exited don't know whether he exited out of the bomb bay or out of the hatch below the pilot's compartment. But he had his parachute on, but he had not fastened the leg straps to his harness, and he went right on through the harness and fell 25,000 feet. It was kind of a bad thing. But I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe this crew was probably flying A-20s, and they were flying anti-submarine patrol up and down the East Coast. Primarily, there's a place called Torpedo Junction, which was off the coast to Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. And they found out quite a bit about the German and a German submarine operation. The submarine would come in and park on the floor of the ocean, just in the Cape Hatteras area. They'd sit down there during the day, come up at night, charge their batteries, go out either around dawn or sunset, and sink tankers or commercial aircraft that were commercial freighters that were going right down the sea lane. Well, this particular day they were up charging their batteries, this German submarine, and the American crew dropped down out of the clouds and saw them right dead ahead, and laid a couple of depth charges on either side of them and blew them out of the water. Well, the German crew extracted their commander, and forgotten virtually the whole crew got out of the submarine, but they were in the water. But a navigator or some intelligence officer made a mistake as to the location, and an oceanographer had plotted based on the currents, the wind, and so forth, where the crew would be, and we were trying to pick them up. Turned out they didn't pick them up for about 2 or 3 days. As a result, probably only 10 or 12 of them that survived. But among the ones that survived were the captain. And by this point in time, he was ready to talk, and he gave quite a bit of the information about their modus operandi in that area and what they were doing. We found out a whole lot about them and knew how to combat them a little better. And in the foolishness that went along, I have to admit, I violated the orders. I flew my aircraft with an A-29 Lockheed Hudson twin-engine bomber and crew. I flew it on the Golden Gate Bridge. Was fun. And I was started to do it again. It was kind of a temptation not to, because sometimes you'd be coming in and the weather would be so stinking from the Farallon Islands on into the Bay of San Francisco that you'd have to, when we'd come back in over the Farallon Islands, it was kind of easy to fly from one buoy to the next. And then whenever you got to the Golden Gate, just fly under the gate, and then you were in San Francisco Bay. The only problem was one day I was coming in the fog, and we were flying from one buoy to the next, and all of a sudden I looked up and here I was at the Golden Gate, but there was a big paddle wagon coming out under the gate. I didn't think there was enough room for the battle wagon to me, so I turned around and retreated. Went back upstairs and made another approach back inland.
Wow.
That was kind of foolish, but I wasn't the only